a gigantic show tonight, huge show tonight from the new film Madison. Jim Caviezel is here, everybody. Come on! Jim Caviezel. Big, tiny, giant, huge movie star of the old tradition. And I like that. Gentleman, movie star. Don't get many of them anymore. I'm just saying. He's a gentleman. I like him. And he played Jesus, of course, so that's always good. We know he played Jesus, so you don't have to clap. He played Jesus. All right, he did play Jesus. All right. But he did. He's very good at it. And Grateful Dead.
For the Late Late Show, from the new film Madison, Jim Caviezel. Grateful Dead.
Welcome back to the Late Late Show, my frisky little ponies. My first guest is an old-fashioned movie star whose films include The Thin Red Line and Bobby Jones, as well, of course, as one of the most talked-about movies of all time, The Passion of the Christ. His new movie is the charming underdog story Madison. Please welcome Jim Caviezel, everybody. Do you have problems with intimacy? Do you have intimacy issues?
I wanted to sit there. But...
yeah. Too many people wanted to sit here. It was a long and bloody fight for me to get here. No one gets to sit here now. Hey, listen, you were meant to be on the show a couple of months back, or about a month ago. What happened?
I don't know.
I think you do.
No, I don't know.
I think you do. What happened?
I have no idea.
You said, I can't come to the show, I have to go to the Pope's funeral, remember?
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I remember.
Yeah. I remember, too, because that day we were like, Polly Shore, Polly Shore. No. That was fine.
No.
Did you know the Pope? Was he a friend of yours? Or?
Don't you laugh at me. I met with him twice.
You met twice with the Pope?
Mm-hmm.
Is that because you were playing Jesus? Did you need permission and stuff?
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because you're quite a devout Catholic, right? You're very serious about your Catholicism.
Sure.
And so, did you think, well, if I'm going to play Jesus, I better talk to the Pope first and get the okay?
Yeah, well, when I met with him, he said, Jim Caviezel, what have you learned in playing Jesus Christ? And I said, well, Pope, that I've been hanging around with, Italians a lot. And he says, yes, and they're beautiful people. Yes. And I said, well, I think Jesus was Italian. And he looked at me and he goes, what? I said, look, he didn't leave home until he was 30. He always hung out with the same 12 guys, and his mother believed he was God. So
there you go. There you go. Yeah. Well, see, you really said that to him?
Well, then he looked at me and he says, I said, you're not upset with me, are you? He goes, no, I always believed he was Polish. He's a bright guy.
So listen, I mean, was it a struggle for you when you get the offered the part of playing Christ? I mean, because you take it seriously, right? I mean...
Well, I mean, any role I play, I have to take it seriously.
Right.
You know, my training is based on truth, and whatever that is, and play it. And I think that the audiences now are so sharp. They pick up on all the seams and especially what you see in behind the scenes now. All I can give is just give my best, and I did the same thing for that.
Yeah, I mean it's funny because I'm fascinated with Catholicism. I grew up. I'm not a Catholic. I'm a Protestant, and I don't know if that's a problem. But where I come from, see that's what happened. That's what happened. But I've always been fascinated because the Protestant church where I grew up, there were no pictures, and it was kind of like, well, we're all going to die, and that would be nice. But in the Catholic churches, I went to a Catholic funeral once, and there was like, there was smoke going and pictures and and stained glass. It was fantastic theatre. It's really, and folk were speaking in Latin. They don't do Latin anymore, do they?
Oh, some of them do, and
yeah.
there's big part of the tradition is still in the Latin, and of course I had to learn that when I played Jesus. So
you didn't know it?
What?
Not all Catholics know Latin then.
Well, it changed around right before I was born. So there were some traditional rites, and so but Mel set me straight there as far as really learning all that, and it provided great moral strength. I mean, look, I had my shoulder ripped out. I
got beaten up in that movie.
Hypothermia every day.
Yeah.
People ask me, could any play it? And I said, yeah, if you can endure 6 months of hypothermia. It was just a regular basis of I mean, I don't care how many covers I had on at night. I was always shaking.
Yeah, just couldn't get warm. I heard Mel Gibson say during the press for the film that he thought the film had been directed by the Holy Spirit. Did you feel that? Did you feel there was a presence on the set or anything like that?
All I can tell you is that you have to ask people that went and saw the film and how they were affected by it.
Well, sure, a lot of people were affected by it, but I just felt, when you were in, obviously it's a special story, but did you feel at the time a great responsibility? Did you feel there was an extra presence there?
No question. Look, just because Melvis, sorry, call him Elvis sometimes, Melvis, but anyway, that's another story.
Melvis. Oh, Melvis Gibson.
Yeah.
Is he playing Elvis in the CBS miniseries Elvis this Sunday on CBS? Is he playing it? No.
No, yeah.
That'd be good, though.
Yeah.
He'd be good at it.
No, he'd be good.
He'd be like crazy Elvis.
Which would be like the good kind of Elvis to play. I mean, he was.
Listen, so I talked about you as being an old-fashioned movie star.
Yeah.
Because you have this kind of, you're from a small town in America, you come to Hollywood to be an actor. Where are you from?
I'm from Mount Vernon, Washington.
Yeah. That must be the entire population are here tonight, right?
2/3 of the people are my family.
It's a small town?
Yeah, pretty small. I mean, actually, the town that I'm from is called Conway, and it's not even on the map.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't live there now, though. You live in L.A., right?
That's correct.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There's a difference? L.A. is a bit larger.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, probably one of these questions got to be about the film I just did, Madison.
I'll get to it. I'll get to it. I will get to it. We will go to commercials, and then I'll come back, and I'll talk to you only about the film you just did. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with Jim Caviezel, everybody.
The leader gets pride, spinning out in turn 2 and stalls. And here's Miss Madison coming out of the back and taking the lead. Jim McCormick, in his first race in 8 years, has taken the lead.
That's the movie. Welcome back, my lovelies. Welcome back. That's the movie you just did, right? Jim Caviezel.
That's right.
That's the movie you just did.
Hey, a lot of you thought my last name was Caviezel. What's that all about?
Yeah.
Come on.
I sometimes say Caviezel just for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's probably because I'm a Protestant.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, see. Just put it away, man.
Yeah,
put it away. So what's the movie about, Madison?
It's based on a true story. Family by the Ohio River, South Madison, unlimited hydroplane boat racing, and this guy who basically the whole town was shutting down, and he opted to stay and keep going with his boat. And it's a really nice film. Actually, we did it 5 years ago.
You made it 5 years ago?
Yeah, 5 years ago. And
do you remember what happens in the movie? Man, you are like the angriest Jesus I ever met.
Yeah, Mel originally wanted to cast me for Lucifer.
So you made it 5 years ago. It's about a guy that races speedboats in a small town in Ohio.
Yeah.
Well, Ohio.
You left me hanging
the lake there. Yeah.
No. But the film, we ran out of money. I mean, there were a lot of stop and starts on it, and very similar to the story.
Right.
But the guys Carl Amari, Bill Binley, Scott Binley wrote it. It had a great film here, and we showed it at Sundance. Redford let us in there with it. It's a family film, but it's not sugar-coated. That's one thing I have a problem with. A lot of the family films are, full of...
Bit too sweet.
sentimental hogwash. They pander out to their audience.
Yeah.
You know.
But you were a fan of I mean, you're a big fan of Jimmy Stewart, right? And he was great at making these movies which were not too sentimental.
Right.
But they were family and heartwarming movies.
Well, I got him over my mantle at home.
Really? He's,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
an icon to you. Did you ever meet him?
Yeah, I did.
No way.
Yeah, no, actually, I met him when I first came down in this business. I was a waiter, like so
That
many of us
happens.
are. Yeah, it's good. Hey, it's good to be humbled. And so I was working, and it was at the President Jerry Weintraub's house for President Bush at the time. And all I remember is there was Secret Service everywhere with these briefcases, and I said, "Man, that's cool that the Secret Service have like briefcases, carry their office to work." It was interesting, and I found out there were Uzis in them.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
but so
A lot of guys down in South Central with the same little briefcases.
Yeah. So they took us in, and they had all these famous names in their place, and I was setting the plates down, and they said, "Hey," called us all in. He says, "You're not going to talk to any of these celebrities. If you do, we'll fire you on the spot." I said, "All right." And I lied to get this job, and I didn't know how to carry crystal, and I would carry it like this, champagne, you know. And there was a big long line to meet the president, and I looked over and I saw Jimmy Stewart, and I thought, I think I'll get fired for talking to him.
Good for you.
So I went over and I said, "Mr. Stewart, would you like something to drink?" He said, "Yeah, I'll have a scotch and soda."
It sounds a bit like the late Holy Father a little bit, doesn't it?
And so I went and got him a drink, came back, and we started talking. And he was a brigadier general. A lot of people don't know this. Brigadier general, and he served this country. He did like 45 missions over Germany. Flew B-17s, and but he said something to me. He says, "Well, if you ever make it in this business, you young man, you make good movies. You make good movies." So I based this character
on Jimmy
Stewart.
That's fantastic.
He's from Indiana.
That's fantastic. Jim, I wish we had more time.
Yeah.
But,
I just want to say to you and your audience and to America that I think you're going to be a huge star in this business. I'm going to put you up there with Ed Sullivan. I'm going to put you up there with Johnny Carson. You're going to do that.
All right.
I'm going to tell you.
Well, thank you,
people need to find out about him.
Thank you. Thanks, man. Thank you so much.